Hey peeps, it has been a hot minute since I've recorded any videos on internet business, internet marketing, or any of the stuff I typically publish here on the YouTube channel eBizCorey. That's because, well, I'm traveling for the summer. I typically spend half the year traveling and doing some mountain biking. Right now I'm currently hanging out in Helena, Montana, but for the last month or so I've been floating around to quite a few places, spending a kind of a week here, a week there, which is atypical for me. Usually I go to one place, I stay there for a month, and I kind of get comfortable, so to say. For that month, I develop a little bit of a routine and I can get some work done. But when I'm going from place to place to place, a week at a time, it's very hard for me to get any work done, very hard for me to make any videos, really very hard for me to do anything other than mountain biking. But for now, I'm in Helena, Montana. Helena, Montana. I want to say Helena, Montana, but it's locally pronounced Helena, Montana. Anyways, that's where I am right now, and today it is Tuesday. I decided to do some work, and work for me includes looking at online businesses that are for sale. So I found a few here that I want to share with you guys and share my insight and expertise and opinion on them here. Maybe you might be interested in them, and if you're interested in any of these, just kind of Google whatever the title is that you see on the page, and you should find the listing. These are all recently listed, so I typically look back for the prior week every Monday or every Tuesday. And I say every, I have not been very diligent at doing that. So anyways, these ones were all listed recently, I think within the last 48 hours. Let's see what we have here. First one, established, growing, and fun e-commerce business for sale. All right, when you see established, growing, and fun e-commerce business for sale, I'm like, all right, somebody's selling me hopes and dreams here. But this one was established in 2014 and has revenue of 1.5 million. Okay, so there is something established here. Seems like there's a little bit more than hope and dream. Then I kind of glanced over here to see who it's listed by. It is not listed by any major website brokerage. And let's see what we got here. 100% online, remote e-commerce company, currently no offices, but to maximize this opportunity, it is time for this company to go to the next level with a warehouse and inventory. This seems like some type of dropship brand. Maybe 3PL, you could do that. Must have a computer, Microsoft Office, a cell phone, and internet access. All right, all of the staples for living in 2022. We'll teach you everything you need to know during a training period. This business is an organically grown brand, consistent monthly revenue with crazy growth potential for the right individual or group. Investment highlights highly profitable, strong brand with good margins, strong organic growth with a super low ad spend. And here we go. Finally, we get some meat and potatoes. This 8-year-old established storefront in the kids' toy niche is seeking an acquisition. With fast organic growth, the brand was able to quickly gain market share on the World Wide Web. Although most sales are generated from USA customers, growing market demand for the products due to increased traffic density has seen the industry hit new highs this year. The market is barely tapped. Acquire this brand and expand its reach through increased targeted advertising and expansion via shopping platforms like Amazon, eBay, Walmart. Okay, and the market stuff, the marketplace platforms is what I meant to say there. With your own warehouse and product inventory. Additionally, the business could expand into new markets with creative setups. Although that would be on the 5 to 10 year horizon. The company grew to 1.5 million in annual sales, attributing to massive year-over-year growth. Okay. So nothing too crazy here, or nothing too revealing. We've got some type of e-commerce business in the toy niche. It seems like it's their own brand. Now, what really stands out, it seems like it's a brand. They're not reselling other people's products. They've got their own brand, like a direct-to-consumer brand. There's a lot of hype in here, of course. We can tell that right from the title, but it's been around since 2014, so that's 8 years now. Cash flow $325,000 and the asking price $1.2 million. So a little less than 4x, 3.9x. And I would say that's about fair. The gross revenue at $1.5 million and the cash flow at $325,000. That seems also realistic. What is that? It's not 10%. It's about 15%. What if we go calculator and do 325 divided by 1200? 27%. So that's pretty healthy net income margin or EBITDA margin or cash flow margin, since we don't know the exact EBITDA. That's a pretty good cash flow from an e-commerce business. What I like about it, though, besides for the fact that it's 8 years old, is that it's been grown primarily through organic methods. Now, this could be organic SEO, but I don't believe it is. It is an organically grown brand, right? So do they have a lot of following on social media? That would be something of interest, seeing where they're following and where their following comes from and what they define organic as. Because if it's organic SEO, I'd weight that very minimally in terms of valuation, because SEO can be just rip-roaring one day, and then with an update the next day, you're back to zero. But if this is a true organically grown brand and it has branded search volume, I would say this is a pretty resilient business. And if they've done it with low ad spend, this gives a lot of room for somebody that's a skilled advertiser to get in there and really increase the game. The other thing I like about it too here is that it seems like, they don't use the word drop shipping, but it seems like this is drop shipped. Let's just see if it is revealed. Home-based. Support, facilities, home base, yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't say that this is drop ship, but they're doing it without a warehouse. So I don't know if this means they're 3PLing it now or they're drop shipping it at the moment. If they're drop shipping it and you could 3PL it, which I don't see why you couldn't, and maybe there is some type of detail there with why you cannot 3PL it. But if they've gotten it this far without any warehousing or anything at the moment, I think you could go a lot further with a 3PL. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and this seems like a pretty good business once you kind of cut through the fluff up top. And, well, there's John's phone number. So if you're interested, you could reach out and contact him. And let's quit this here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, when I clicked the phone number, it was triggering this dial pad app that I have installed on my computer. All right. Next up, automated identification solutions, consulting in sales. Okay, so this business popped up as being remote and online. Problem solvers in the auto identification solutions industry. Very well-established company with an excellent reputation in the wireless networking, barcoding, label printing, mobile computing, automated data collection arena. Real opportunity for growth, strong customer retention, company cash flows well, and books are easy to follow. Loyal customers, owners willing to stay behind. The company is a premier certified partner with multiple vendors, including Zebra Technologies. I do not know them. Honeywell. Honeywell actually makes air conditioning types of products, like thermostats. Datalogic, Epson, and multiple small vendors. There are no employees. They contract based on customer application requirements. And then they just kind of give some fine print here. So, right off the get-go, I really don't understand what this business does. The clients come to them and they need some type of barcoding and some type of automation solution. So, where does this business add value? And then, that it sounds good that they have no employees, right? That was obviously a big perk. But if they have no employees, A, how much of this business is based on relationship with the owner who's, doing things? And B, how much is based on owner's knowledge? Now, if they contract based on customer application requirements, it could very well be that this business does not need the owner's expertise, but it might need the owner's relationships to make it work. It's cash flowing $351,000 on $1.4 million, almost $1.5 million in sales annually, so it's got a healthy margin, and they're asking $800,000, and I would say that that sounds like a fair multiple. We also don't know how long this business has been around for. Yeah, so that would be a key thing, right? Did this business just get popped up in the last 2 years and somehow they pulled in $1.5 million and they're like, boom, let's exit, right? Let's exit while things are hot. I'm not sure, but this is a very interesting business, and I like these types of businesses because they're online and they're remote, but they're not something that's necessarily easy to get into, and they're not something that a lot of people are looking into, like drop shipping, e-commerce, right? There's so many people out there trying to get into that space. It's a very crowded space. This is a more niche type of business. The next one we have is like that too. listed here on BizBuySell, employment screening and background check company. Asking price $2 million, cash flow $450,000. So they're asking a little over 4x, and established in '95. Long established background screening company for sale in the Midwest. The company has thousands of customers who utilize the company for ongoing human resource reference checking, drug testing, and social media monitoring. Okay. I never thought about this here, and I've never really had to think about this because I've always been an employer basically my entire adult life. I am 32 now. I started what I call my first real business when I was 20, actually 18 or 19. I started an e-commerce business that did pretty well, but started an offline home service business that I don't want to say kickstarted, but was kind of the real spark behind my career and entrepreneurship success. So I've never really had to go job searching. I have had to hire people, but in the offline world, or not in the offline world, but in the businesses I'm doing, home service businesses, it's hard to find employees, so we don't really care what's on their social media. Anyhow, it's a whole lot of information and words to tell you that I think this is kind of an interesting thing I never really thought of. Social media monitoring by a company that does, background checks and screening. The company has been trusted by small businesses as well as large public companies all over the U.S. by offering higher level of customer service, legal compliance, ongoing investment in their IT platform. The company is considered a necessary business partner. Interested buyers will be required to sign confidentiality agreement. All right, so like the other one, this is something that's an online business or can be an online business. Now, I'm not sure if this one is exactly, it is. I was going to say, I'm not sure if it's an offline or online business, but it triggered my online business search. Company operates from a leased facility adequate for the operations. Landlord will execute an assignment at closing. I don't see why this couldn't be an entirely online business. And this came up in my search for an online business and my kind of triggers for that. In the listing, it's very clear that the companies are coming from all over the U.S. It would be interesting to see, and something you need to take into account, how many of these businesses are coming from local businesses in what I think in the Chicago area versus all over. Obviously, if there's a high concentration in Chicago, it might be vital that you maintain a presence there, at least until you can kind of absorb the loss of that business by expanding outward. But fundamentally, this type of business is not geographically constrained. You can serve clients anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and your employees could work remote. So I like that business for this reason. And also, I think this is a very sticky business for the clients, right? The HR departments at this business, they're not being heavily scrutinized for like a return on investment type of thing, right? This is just something that they need to do. They need to pay for it, and they've established a relationship with this company. So they just turn to this company and say, hey, do these. And there's a lot of business services that I have like that in my businesses where we don't really try to go out and compete them or shop them around. Basically, we pay the price. It's something we need. The business turns it around for us and gets it done quickly. And that's it. It's not really high enough of a cost for us to go out there and warrant searching for another provider. As long as they get things done and do it right and don't fuck things up and don't monkey around, we basically just stick with what we are doing. So yeah, I like this business, and I like that it's been around since 1995. Revenue's good. What is this revenue per employee here? If we're to do 3.1 divided by 12, that's going to put us at probably like $270,000 or $80,000 per employee. So that's really pretty good. Now, why is it only cash flowing though $450,000, right? Because you could be paying, if it says it's got 12 employees, let's just say you're paying them just say you're paying them $100,000 each. That's $1.2 million a year, right? So you still have $2 million left over. Like, where else is all the cash flow going? Honestly, I guess kind of looking into this, and now that I'm thinking about the numbers, I'm surprised the margin is not higher. Right? If you're going to spend $1.2 million a year on payroll, right, that still leaves you $2 million of other spending. What can that be going towards in this business? Not sure. Be something to look into if you're interested in this business. But, with the details we have here, we can't really tell. And then finally, we have by Quiet Light Brokerage, a 4-year-old content repurposing business. $121,000 monthly recurring revenue, year-over-year revenue up 34%, annual revenue 1.58 million, almost 1.6, and then income 178,000, and they're asking nearly a 4x for it. Like the other one, this seems a little low on the margin, but let's read the description here. They're asking $699,000. Launched in 2018, this content repurposing business excels at a job that all businesses need as part of their marketing strategy, but most are either not doing it all or not doing well. The current monthly recurring revenue is $121,500 with a year-over-year increase of 34%. Majority of clients, 91%, are on a monthly subscription with 8.7% paying annually. About 11% are on a customer legacy plan with the balance on the current published pricing structure. All right, with an interest in video since the age of 12, the current owner built the business after repeatedly hearing that clients may not need someone to create their content, but they do need someone to repurpose it for all social media platforms. While not actually a SaaS business, as the staff accomplishes the content work, it is seamless enough to feel like software to the client base. The human element allows for much more creative design than can be achieved with a do-it-yourself or AI platform, as the curators understand marketing, voice, and trends. Advertising spend has always been minimal, allowing a huge opportunity for growth by implementing a proper marketing strategy. About 10% of revenue comes from organic traffic, though there has been zero focus on SEO, suggesting that investing in time in SEO and publishing new blog content should increase traffic and subscribers. The sales team has had success with a cold prospecting campaign, which could be ramped up for immediate results. The current owner spends about 3 hours per week, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all right, so, one thing I will say is, where's the line here? One thing I want to point out, there's a lot I want to say. While not actually a SaaS business as the staff accomplishes the content work, it is seamless enough to feel like software to the client base, okay? So, having been in the marketing business and offered marketing services to clients, aside from handling my own businesses, I will say that creating content for clients is a royal pain in the ass because you have to get the content from the clients, you have to do it, and then you have to do it to their liking, which it's very hard to do to their liking if you're not actually in the business. It's hard for you to name people that are involved in a project if you don't know who the people are in the business, right? You might have a picture of employees and customers. In my case, in a home service business, you might have a picture of a technician knocking on someone's door and the customer answering the door. And the business wants to have the name of the employee and the customer in the picture, but if you don't recognize the faces, you can't do it. It's really hard to create that content for businesses. But this business here is taking a different approach to it and saying, hey, we'll repurpose your content, right? So we'll take your blog content, we'll get it out there on Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, YouTube, right? All of these different platforms. Now, at least that's what it's implying. So I like that. You're working with the businesses that are already creating the content. And I think that's something that's going to perpetually need to be done as more and more platforms pop up out there. I feel like every day there's a new social media platform, right? Like the current one is TikTok. I don't even know how to use TikTok. Never been on it. I've never even been on Snapchat. I primarily use Facebook. Instagram, I do occasionally go on, but there's all these platforms. It's like, I don't want to learn this. I don't want to post on there. But as a business, you're expected to post on all these different platforms. So I really see a need here for this type of program. And I think that this is something that AI or software is really going to have a hard time coming in and kind of intervening in here. I think a service like this is relatively resilient and needed. Now, one thing that I also think about this is that the customers can be not too sticky. That would be something I'd want to investigate. It sounds like they are here. 91.3% are on a monthly subscription, and recurring revenue is up year over year, and they don't do much in terms of sales or marketing, right? Just basic outreach. But we don't know. But I do know from my own experience offering marketing services that marketing clients can be very, how should I say it, fidgety. They can, maybe not fidgety, but the opposite of sticky. Marketing clients are not too sticky usually. All right, like you can be doing everything right. You can be nailing it, literally knocking out of the park for them. And they literally just send you an email one day and say, hey, our marketing initiatives have changed. We need to cut you, or we need to make some changes to the budget. You're done. Or, hey, we want to take marketing in a different direction, right? Even though you're doing everything perfect and right. And I've been in that situation where I'm doing things for clients better than anybody else could do. I would kind of cross my heart on that because I've been in this for a long time and I've been very successful, but they just say, hey, we want to go a different direction. We want to try something else. So yeah, marketing is not too sticky. For that reason, I don't particularly like marketing businesses, but this one seems of interest and something I'd want to dive further into and learn more about. So it's 4 years old. I typically like to go for 5 years, but this one kind of being right on the cusp does have my interest. So guys, on that note, these are the online businesses of interest to me this week. If you're interested in them, they are certainly a free market. They're certainly free market businesses, right? I don't have any lock and hold on these. I might be interested in some of these. I might inquire on some of these, but if you're interested in them, hey, just Google the titles here and, well, make an inquiry. And on that note, if you make an inquiry, I hope you find a business that ultimately works for you and you get an online business. If you have any questions, not on the businesses specifically, but just on the businesses that we discussed or the context that we discussed here, drop them in the comments on YouTube here and I will try to reply to them. That's a wrap on this one. I'm signing off.